What up, team Rev Dealer Resources? Hey, I just finished a great day with Carl in Las Vegas, and want to give Carl a big shout out for having a great route planned for us, and along with a number of visits where the door had already been kicked open so that we could go in and close the deal. The deal in some cases was already closed, but I like to believe that we closed them again today. And I wanted to talk specifically about one thing that I found myself doing in presentation that is just out of habit. Having onboarded many dealers in the past, I kind of have a habitual way that I go about getting them set up. And there's a few things that I think are particularly effective about this onboarding strategy that I want to share with you. So I always show the finance manager how to get a vehicle service contract ordered and paid for in the system. And this means that there's always going to be a demo or test contract in each one of our stores that we have fully onboarded. There's a few reasons why I like to go through this with them, and I'll describe them here. So first approach, hey, would you like to see how our portal works? It takes about 2 or 3 minutes to get a contract ordered. I've always been told yes to this, and I say, okay, great, will you pull up a VIN from a recent contract that you sold with the competitor? And by now I've already found out who the competitor is, and so today it was GWC. And so on a handful of occasions today, we had finance managers rating us against GWC in our portal and their portal. And it was regular to hear today that our rates were competitive. We had a couple of dealers say that they were really good. And that's always great to hear going into, because you retain that information going into another sales presentation as confidence. So you find out how our rate compares to a competitor rate, and then once our contracts are up on the screen, I ask, okay, so do you know what's included in the competitor contract for that rate? And then they'll go on to tell me, well, it's this stated component program that has this limit. And I say, okay, great. Well, one of the differences with us is that we only sell exclusionary unlimited miles contracts. And the way that reads in our contract is that everything in the vehicle is included, with the exception of those items that are listed in the exclusion section. And I like to ask the finance manager, hey, what's some of the things that you know of that are excluded with a competitor? And then we throw that feedback into Trevor on the chat bot on the screen and ask the question, is blank included in the mechanical failure contract? And Trevor spits back the answer. So now we've got them logged into the portal, comparing our rates against somebody else, comparing our coverage against somebody else, and now utilizing better technology to find out what's covered and what's not covered. So we go through the process of getting a contract ordered, and we at that time can explain the differences between our mechanical failure and the enhanced vehicle protection and the complete owner protection. And it's at that time that we can really go into the detail of, this is our vehicle service contract, this is our vehicle service contract plus 4-in-1 plus battery, this is our vehicle service contract plus 4-in-1 plus battery plus gap plus theft. And it's at that time you can ask them, hey, are you selling theft with anybody? And then you talk about our theft program, how it's typical that our dealers are selling this for up to $799. We had the stickers there with us that we could show them, this is how you apply it. It's a non-cancelable program. Finance manager is nodding the whole time as you're saying this. You're just getting them to recognize the value of what our system really does. It's not going to stick with everybody, but you have the opportunity, if you're demoing how to order a contract, to go in and describe why we built it this way. And I love to tell people, if you click the comprehensive owner protection, you're ordering 5 contracts with the click of one button. And I've already described to them by that time how they're making more money on each one of the products that are sold. So then we select the contract or contracts that we want to have sold, and we go through the remainder of the contract ordering process. And on the next page, they get to see where our terms and conditions and declaration pages live. And once they've clicked through to that next screen, they get to see where the contracts live. Once we're on the screen where the contracts live, we instruct them to select the button on the left, and they can choose to then click Pay Now, and that's where I walk them through exactly what needs to be done to pay for a contract. Once we've walked them through that process and click back out of it, we select the contract again, and we unwind that contract. So now the finance manager knows everything that they need to know in order to sell a contract with us. And that entire process probably takes about 15 minutes. The conversation is good. There's questions and answers. Trevor gets shown, all of our product documents get shown. We show them how to edit the dealer markup, show them how to find their contracts once the contract is sold, show them how to pay it, show them how to unwind it, talk a little bit about how cancellations are all done online and that we pay our cancellations back via ACH. There are so many little minor benefits that can be pulled out of just showing a finance manager the process all the way through. I'd love it if we could see more demonstrations of the actual order process during our onboarding